What?
Why?
How?
Where from? These are the few questions that people get in their minds while thinking about the COVID crisis. Presently, as all of us are sitting at our home, completely bored in this lockdown, many have their minds revolving around the thought of the COVID crisis and the main culprit, the novel coronavirus. Today, as the world faces this pandemic, we, a group of science students, along with our mentor, have decided to spread scientific knowledge about the COVID pandemic. So, in this video, I, Saurav, and my colleagues
Akshay.
Disha.
Sakshi.
will be shedding light on scientific facts and other aspects related to COVID-19 crisis. Let us learn about COVID and a few false myths associated with COVID-19 in this first episode called About COVID.
The most common question these days is what is coronavirus? Coronavirus is the RNA virus, which means it has RNA as its genetic material. For better understanding, let's start with some basic concepts. What is a virus? A virus is a submicroscopic organism, which means it is so small that even under microscope it is hard to see, and also an infectious agent which is capable of multiplying and replicating only in the living cell of the host organism. A virus does not have its own machinery for carrying out activities like replication, translation, transcription, and any other essential processes that a cell should be performing. Hence, it lacks its own metabolism, which is an important property for the living cell. And it has no choice but to infect the host cell for proliferation. Therefore, the viruses are described as the organisms at the edge of life. They don't seem to be dead, neither do they seem to be alive. If you think about it, they are like Schrodinger's cats, both dead and alive at the same time. A complete virus particle, known as virion, consists of genetic material as DNA or RNA, which in turn encodes the protein for proper functioning of the virus. The protein coat, called as capsid, also protects and surrounds this genetic material.
As we have discussed, there is a diverse variety of viruses. Hence, classification of viruses becomes very crucial. There are different types of classification as well, including the Baltimore classification. Today, we are going to look into some basic classification according to the genetic material and the mode of replication. DNA viruses. As the name indicates, they have DNA as their genetic material. Most of the replication takes place in the cell's nucleus. There has to be an appropriate receptor on the cell for the entry of virus into the cell. An example of DNA virus is the herpes virus. Reverse transcription viruses. They either have single-stranded RNA as in Retroviridae family or double-stranded DNA as in Colimoviridae family as their genetic material. If they have an RNA genome, also known as retroviruses, then they use DNA intermediate for replication. And if they have DNA genome, also known as pararetroviruses, then they use RNA intermediate for replication. Now moving on to the last category, RNA viruses. Most of the activities of RNA viruses such as translation, transcription and replication takes place in the cytoplasm of the host cell. They also encode for their own replicase enzyme. An example of RNA viruses is the riboviruses. Coronavirus also belong to the RNA viruses category. They have a 5' methylated cap and a 3' polyadenylated tail. Hence, the translation can take place using the host ribosome. They also encode for the RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, also known as RDRP. Hence, all the activities takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell itself. Now, we will be looking in more details of the coronavirus.
So where does COVID-19 come in all of this? Although COVID 19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus called SARS CoV 2, the coronavirus family itself has been known to us for a while. The coronavirus family members were first discovered in the 1930s in North Dakota, USA. The first human coronavirus was discovered in the 1960s. Coronaviruses are RNA viruses which infect not only humans but also other mammals and birds. In humans, these viruses cause respiratory tract infections which may lead to mild as well as lethal consequences. Coronaviruses are enveloped viruses which consist of a positive sense single-stranded RNA genome along with a helical nucleocapsid and all neatly wrapped inside an icosahedral protein shell. The characteristic feature of this family of viruses is that they have a number of club-shaped spikes protruding from their membrane. And when a virus from this family is seen in an electron micrograph image, the image is reminiscent to that of a solar corona, and thus we gave that name to this family. The average diameter of a COVID 19 particle is 125 nanometers, which includes the 80 nanometer wide envelope along with the 20 nanometer long spike. The viral envelope consists of a lipid bilayer which includes the membrane, the envelope, and the spikes which are made up of subunits S1 and S2 fixed upon the membrane.
But how does this virus exactly transmit into humans? Coronaviruses primarily infect the upper respiratory and gastrointestinal tract of mammals and birds. They cause a range of diseases in farm animals and domesticated pets as well. So when an infectious disease transfers from an animal into human, it is called as zoonosis. Other such examples of zoonotic diseases are Ebola virus disease and also HIV, which has been a part of zoonotic diseases transmitted into humans since the early 20th century. Such viruses have occasionally recombined with the human viruses strains and has caused pandemics such as the Spanish flu and swine flu as well. Naturally, zoonosis has different modes of transmission, either directly through media such as air, as in the case of influenza, or through bites and saliva, as in the case of rabies. In contrast, the pathogen can also be transferred via a vector organism such as mosquito in the case of Zika virus, where the pathogen is carried without the organism falling sick. Such a transmission can occur in context of consumption of animals, animal products, and animal derivatives as well. SARS-CoV-2 in this case is a natural virus of animal origin and is assumed to infect the human population through a phenomenon called as spillover infection, which occurs when a reservoir population with high pathogen prevalence comes in contact with a novel host population.
So, why don't we do some hoax busting now? Welcome to the rumor segment of this episode called Rumor Humor. Thanks to Social Media University, the knowledge about COVID 19 on the internet is filled with unnecessary lies and myths.
In this section, we are going to clear doubts about the fake information that we often hear. The rumor for this episode is Nostradamus' prophecy about COVID 19.
Various posts from social media claimed that the 16th century French astrologer Nostradamus had already predicted the fall of Italy due to the coronavirus pandemic in a prophecy that goes as follows.
There will be a twin year,
Which is 2020,
from which will arise a queen,
Corona,
who will come from the east,
China,
and will spread a plague in the darkness of night,
the pandemic,
on a country with 7 hills,
Italy,
and will transform the twilight of men into dust to destroy and ruin the world.
basically death.
It will be the end of the world economy as we know it.
This prophecy is unfounded and has no evidence to support it. Jersey, a professor of French and History Studies of the New York University, strongly opposes the existence of this prophecy. It is not surprising that such posts have arrived during this pandemic. There has always been fake information that has surfaced again and again during a disaster that has threatened our very existence, but has done nothing than to create mass hysteria. So let's stay away from such fake information.
From the information that we have provided in this video, we have prepared a short quiz for you enthusiastic minds. Let's see who gets them correct. Here are the questions. First, what is the exact cause of COVID-19? Second, what is spillover infection? Third, why is RNA viruses more prone to mutation than DNA viruses? If any one of you know the answer to these questions, do write them down in the comment section below, or don't worry, they will be provided in the description of the next video.
So this brings us to the end of the first episode in this COVID-19 series. If you like this video, please like it, share it to your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. This channel is run by a small group of biotechnology students along with our mentor. Our main aim is to spread awareness about the science behind this virus and the pandemic surrounding it. All of the supplementary reference links which have been used for the information in this video are given in the description below. Until the next episode, stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned. See you around.